Let's see if we can make a pumpkin wreath out of fabric. Hey everybody, it's Colette with Blessings Craft Therapy. If you didn't know, and if you did, thank you so much for coming back. I was so inspired by all of these wreath makers. Let me just tell you, y'all wreath makers, you're no joke. Like, you are fierce. All right, so I have this Dollar Tree pumpkin frame. I also have this fabric from Walmart, and I'm using 10-inch strips. So I am tearing this fabric. I am not cutting it, and I'm trying to make 10-inch squares. Total, you're going to need about 20. I used 20, but I probably could have used more. So I'm going to say be prepared to do like 24 or so. Okay. And again, they're all 10-inch squares. And again, I just tore mine. Got the fabric at Walmart, like I said, but you could use any fabric. Flannel would be really good for this. So then I'm doing the same technique that I saw from Julie's Wreath Boutique, I think it is. She's amazing. But anyways, so I fold it to make a triangle, and then at the very top, I'm just gathering it all up to the tippity top, and I'm making like a petal. Okay. And then we're going to take that petal and we're going to bring it to our wreath form. And I'm starting at the bottom, and I'm doing the rung in, one rung in. Then I'm going to get a little zip tie. Got these zip ties, by the way, at Dollar Tree. I don't know. You could probably use different colors. These are what I had. Let's be clear. I did this whole thing with stuff I had on hand. Anyway, so we're tightening it up. And there it is. You want to make sure you cut off that excess of your zip tie. You don't want that on there. I'm just using like a wire cutter for that. But look at, we can fan it out a little bit. I suppose you could probably, I was toying with the idea of using a fabric stiffener to make it even more like to stay, but I chose otherwise. So anyway, so again, we're going to do this all the way around, like each of the rungs of the pumpkin. So same song, second verse, we're going to just make a triangle, gather at the very tippity top. There it is. Then we're going to add it to our wreath. And I'm just going to put that one on top of the next one. See? Ta-da! And we're going to do that all the way across. Again, if you know me, if you followed me for a really long time, you'll know I tried doing one of those deco mesh wreaths, and it was a hot mess express. Like, it was so bad. I swore off of them. I swear I would never do another wreath because I didn't. But then I saw this wreath that Julie did, and I was like, darn it. It's so cute. It looked so nice, but I didn't have any of the deco mesh. So I said, well, can we use fabric? Is it as good as the deco mesh? I don't know, because I don't usually use the deco mesh, but I can see the merit in using deco mesh because it holds its shape. But again, I had fabric, and that's what I did. I just used what I had on hand. It's fine. So total for each rung, I did 4 of these petals. Could I have done more? Probably, but I felt like, and let's also be clear, I used the full 2 yards with just a tiny bit left over, so I didn't have much to spare. So there's that. So again, I did 4 petals per one of those rings, and I didn't do the very outer rung. Is that what you call those? Wreath makers, tell me in the comment. Do you call them rungs? I don't know what you call them. Anyway, so, and you'll see I'm doing this all the way. I just keep showing you just in case, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I need to see people do something like 3-4 times. I know, love me through it. I am that person that needs show me again. I'm sorry, what? So there's that. So yeah, so we did 4 of them total on each of the rungs. And like I said, I ran out of fabric, so I didn't even do the outermost rungs. And you'll see also that I also ran out of, because I also do green fabric, and I ran out of that too. So we had to improvise. Improvisation is a skill. Got to do it, right? Anyways, so there's that. And don't worry about them being perfect when you first put it on, because it's going to get all cattywampus as you do it. So just, it looks beautiful, and we're going to do each of the other rungs. And there it is. We did them all. Ta-da! Now we're going to do the same thing with some green. Again, they're 10-inch squares that we fold into a triangle, and then we just gather the top. All I'm doing is pleating it. I'm just pulling it together. It does not have to be perfect. Please don't think it has to be perfect. It doesn't. That's one of the things that always keeps me from doing stuff, is because it's not, oh, this doesn't look like I want it to. You know what? That could be the blessing in disguise, because then you could innovate and do something totally different. So just go with it, right? So here I am putting the zip tie on the very top rung. All I'm doing is trying to hide the very top zip ties from, see how we have all those gaps? That's all I'm trying to do, is just fill that in. So ta-da, there's that. I think I did 2 of the green on each side. And then, like I said, I ran out of green. Could I have planned better? Of course. But sometimes I get a bee in my bonnet. Does anybody do this? Where I get a bee in my bonnet and I'm like, I have to make this. I can't make anything else until I get this out of my brain. So that's why I was ill prepared, friends. That's why I was ill prepared. I didn't want to go to the craft store, so I just did with whatever was on hand. So there it is. I did 2 there, and we're going to do 2 on the other side, and then we're going to do another 2 on the center. And I just did the center ones I did on the wire stem part. And yes, it looks a hot mess express right now because I haven't really fanned out all of our fabric and all of the things. Here's what I improvised with. I had dark green. I honestly wish I had a bunch of this, because had I had a bunch of it, I would have used that, because I think it looks so much better with the orange, but whatever. Had I been able to prepare better, I would have gotten a much more muted orange, so that it fit my decor a little bit better. But let me just say this. I love that I did it, and that I didn't waste a lot of product, and I didn't get frustrated with using the deco mesh. I feel like it was successful. But look at how cute. And I love the way that the fabric kind of holds its shape. Oh, it's so nice. But again, I just did this again. I did 2 of those on the very tippity top. And then after that, listen, and if you know me at all, you know I don't do bows very well either. I'm not good at floral arrangements or bows. It's okay though. So I have some ribbon. I got it at Hobby Lobby on clearance, so it was dirt cheap. This is just like a burlap kind of ribbon. I'm using a Bow Dabra. I think it's Bow Dabra, yeah. And all I did was, listen, could you do a normal bow? Yes. I just didn't know if I had enough confidence in myself to make a bow on my own. So all I did was make a loop, then twist it, make a loop on the other side, and did that twice. I probably didn't even need to do that. But again, we were trying some stuff here. We were feeling froggy, and so I jumped. It's fine. I'm not even sure if that's what that term actually means, but we're going to go with it right now. So, okay. So we're making the bow. And firstly, I put some jute, just a piece of jute at the very bottom, so that we have something to tie our bow with. So there's that. And now we're going to tie it. We're going to just pull the whole thing, tie it, and then pull all the things up. Now, is this the proper way to use a Bow Dabra? I don't know. Because yet another one of my, I don't want to say my failings, but maybe, is a toxic trait, maybe. I never read directions, ever. I wing it, like I do with most of my crafts. If you watch any of my crafts, you'll see I kind of wing everything. I don't know if it's going to work. It might not. So then I take that same ribbon and I wrapped it around that wire stem. And that's all. It's not making it look pretty. I am just wrapping it around just so that it's covered. And to be clear, I love the way it looks. I was like super jazzed that it came out as good as it. I didn't think it was going to look this nice. But so we're going to wrap that ribbon all the way around. And then I just add a little dot of glue just to keep it secure so it doesn't unravel. Use a finger protector so that you don't hurt yourself. And then what I'm going to do is go through so this is where I was telling you before how I'm going to reposition all of the fabric. So all I'm doing is put a little dot of glue so that that area where I have a zip tie, see how it keeps twisting around? I don't want it to do that. So I put a little dot of glue and then I'm just fanning out the fabric. See how fun, right? And I do that for all of our pieces parts. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to keep doing this throughout the entirety of the pumpkin. Again, I just put a little dollop of glue at the very top where that zip tie is, and then I just fan out each of the things. And you have to sometimes, adjust depending on which one overlaps and not and all the things. So then I took some raffia and I tied it around that stem part, and then I tied it in a knot, and then I mussed them all up. So I kind of scrunched them just so that they kind of fanned out a little bit more and they weren't so straight. And then I decided to put that bow that we did earlier. I decided to put that on it. Now, I think the bow is probably too big. I don't know. I'm almost reviewing it now. I'm like, gosh, I wish I had just done the raffia, but either way, look at how cute though. I mean, it was easy enough to do. I didn't make myself too crazy because I wasn't using that deco mesh. Tell me in the I'm telling you, y'all who use the deco mesh, you're fierce. You're fierce, because there was no way. Just thinking about doing it, I was like, "Buh." But if anybody has tips, I'm willing to try again. I'll be honest, I'm willing. But I cannot wait for you to see how this came out. Is it perfect? No. But you know what, friends? No project ever is. Look how pretty this is. What? Anyways, friends, thank you so much for watching. And I hope this inspires you.